Hey guys, it's Pam Plays Games. Welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. I just happened to stop right, God, where this woman is talking super loud. I just went through and did all my inventory management. I was thinking that I would go out to the Exalted Plains for the next part of the playthrough because I have to do Vivian's quest among many other things. And I made some new armor for myself and for Dorian because we were the only ones who didn't really have anything decent. However, I remembered that we have a loose end to tie up here.
The spy master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Go on. Liliana knows where he is, doesn't she? She knows everything.
She doesn't know everything, yet. Sister Liliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
A crumpled report. A crumpled sheet of paper. It looks like it was removed from a recent report to Sister Liliana. Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937, was captured in Leeds. Like the others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating and that he was just following the orders of his captain. This captain, Tom Rainier, is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Val Rayo. So I think I have to go to Val Rayo next. Trying to remember. Let me look at my journal here if I can remember what key to hit. Inner circle. Let's see. Gosh, I have so much to do. Yeah, I have to go to Orlais. So, quest map. Yeah, I probably just could have gone from there, but alright, we'll go to Val Royale. Blackwall has left the Inquisition. It appears to have something to do with the impending execution of a man named Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre. Attend Mornay's execution. Alright, so we are a little bit limited where we could go. Sorry. But I will take my usual crew with me. And as you can see, yeah, he did leave. Should have taken Vivian, because I need to get her leveled up. And we're going to find out what happened to Blackwall. So, I'm on a new recording session. I was going to go back to work, and then I didn't for various reasons, but among them is the fact that my knee has been really messed up. And I have a doctor's appointment on Friday with an orthopedist, so hopefully I'll find out what's going on with it. I'm really, really hoping that it isn't so serious that it might require, like, surgery, but, you know, we won't know until the guy looks at it. I do know that it's not broken, there's no fracture or anything. It just really, really hurts when I put any kind of weight on it, which is a problem when I walk or go up and down stairs like I have to do to get in and out of my apartment building. Yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun there. Outside of that, not really a whole lot else has been going on. I finished up Breath of the Wild, which I was actually kind of surprised. What really surprised me and made me want to just never end the game is that there's always something new to explore and something interesting around every corner. But I was also genuinely surprised that I did not have that much trouble with any of the bosses. Now, granted, I was using a walkthrough to help, but even without, I mean, I didn't really need the tips and tricks for the various bosses, because it was like, if you just watch them for a little bit and understand their pattern, you know, run out of the way. And of course, I tend to, instead of ducking, get hit and then use health items. So that's my basic strategy. But yeah, I'm really kind of bummed because it's done now. And like, it has this mode where it saves just before the final battle with Calamity Ganon. So I can go back and actually try to 100% out the game if I want to. And I might, because I got like 73 of the shrines and there's 120 and there's something like 700 Korok seeds. And I know I didn't get all of those. Anyway, here we are. And there's a reason. Gosh, there's a reason it dumps us here, because this is where the execution is happening. Like, if you wonder why they had the gallows, it's kind of like Chekhov's gun.
Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
I was only following orders.
Very well.
You gotta feel bad for this guy, I mean...
Who's this man to Blackwall? A brother? A friend?
They're going to kill him.
Yeah, cool.
Good grasp of the obvious, this one.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given, and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Blackwall!
Uh-oh.
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
Yep.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
I almost admire the Orlesians for having an executioner's mask specifically designed like that. Yeah, so that's what happened to Blackwall.
Can you believe it? Tom Rainier himself.
You must know something about Rainier.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble and his family.
Where did they take the prisoner?
In the jail of the marketplace. If you've goodbyes to say, say them now. It's a damned mess, but believe you me, it'll be sorted out quick. Lots of people can't wait to see that man swing.
Yeah, I buy
Guess
it.
not.
I don't know why he says guess not. I don't know what that's in response to. So that's the new armor that I made, and that is Battlemaster, like, heavy armor. I just like this design. I think it's nicer.
You would not believe the number of alliances shattered and broken.
Sorry, Cole.
Sounds like a wash.
Oh, it seems. And from all we've heard, it seems Chancellor Roderick
You can come in here if you want to buy a lot of the draperies, and they have a few crafting materials too, but they have all the glass, a lot of the beds. I think I've got all of this already, but you know, it's nice to have. Nice to know where to get some of that from.
The old gods will call to you from their ancient prisons they have seen.
Always have to hear the chant from somebody somewhere. I mean, God forbid you have an original thought in your head. No, just repeat words over and over. I'm sorry. It does get a little oppressive after a while, it feels like. Wow. I'm so sorry. My gosh. I'm so tired all the time. Happens a lot. Anyway. Trying to think. I really have nothing to talk about. I mean, I'm just sort of... I was hyper-focused on playing Breath of the Wild, and it wasn't even like, I gotta finish it. It was just so engaging that, like, hours would go by, and I just wouldn't even notice. I'd be like, oh, I'm super hungry. Oh, it's dinner time. It's like, oh, just one more thing, just around one more corner. I want to see what's on the top of that mountain. I saw this amazing creature, sort of equine, that was like, it's called the Lord of the Mountain, and it's glowing green, and I kept seeing this glowing mist off in the distance, and I kept going, what is that? And I finally found it, and it's the Lord of the Mountain, and I did not catch it as a mount, although I really, really wanted to. Alright, so now we're going to go to talk to Blackwall and see what really happened here. I love the lighting in here, by the way. Who
I
talks
didn't
first?
take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
I called you a friend. I trusted you. You lied.
You thought I was Blackwall. I didn't want to tell you otherwise. As Blackwall, I was something. I had a purpose. I could make amends. Why are you here?
That depends on what you say.
Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
Would a monster have given himself up? Somewhere along the line, you stopped pretending.
Yes.
I need to know the details of what you did. Who you killed. Why?
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered, and I took it. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned it. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question. Just as your men trust you.
Armies are weapons. Weapons don't wield themselves.
Weapons don't have lives, families, dreams. An army is not just a weapon.
My reports say that Callier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered.
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men have been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. They thought they were defending their country. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in this world. Bloodlines. Heirs. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
But you weren't at war. Not really.
I've been on enough battlefields to know the same crime at the right time would have earned a medal. But that's what I did. And why I deserve to be here.
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes.
I didn't know I had any more dialogue options. Oh, yeah.
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Valchavan for the joining. But Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. I was to go down alone, find a darkspawn, and fill a vial with its blood. When I returned, I found the warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
was a heroic act, stepping between you and a darkspawn.
I wasn't worthy. He would have wanted me to carry on to Valshavan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I've been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the Wardens. But I couldn't just walk away. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded, respected. But it wasn't enough. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who was he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
That's all for now.
Yeah, so, that is really pretty dark. And the next thing you have to do is figure out what you're going to do in response to this, because he is, after all,
I have Liliana's report on Tom Rainier.
part of the Inquisition.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to Wardens.
No surprise.
What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. Yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
He wanted to change. To prove that he'd really left his past behind, he had to face up to it.
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
So that'll be a war table mission. So I have to go out to Valrayo before I can go back. One thing I have noticed people saying is it's kind of a bummer that Valrayo is supposed to be this enormous, opulent city, because it is the capital of Orlais and the center of everything. And it is kind of a bummer that you only get to see a very small bit of it, which is true. I mean, you basically have the summer market, I think is what this area is called, and a little bit of the dock opening onto that lake that is the disaster, the Miroir de Mer or whatever. You can't even see or guess at which tower might be the White Spire, which is the circle tower for Valrayo. And you really don't see anything else except for the inside of Vivienne's lover's place when you pick her up, and that back alley where you meet Sarah, and that side alley for the thing for Josephine. Really, very little. And it's like, it would have been nice to get a little bit more. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't. It's like, it's a little after 9 o'clock at night. I shouldn't be yawning my ass off like this. But I know if I try to record first thing in the morning, it's going to be the same way. So whatever happens, I can't win. And I'm sorry. Alright. So, does anybody have any comment on that? No? Why is there a quest here? Oh, Meriden here. Meriden has a quest?
What do you
She does actually have a couple of requests for us at different points.
Rode the winding road, defiant of the Inquisitor. A title hard to rhyme. A challenge for another day, I think. Forgive me my distractions, Eminence. I'm overwhelmed by you and what you've done. My name is Meriden, a humble bard.
Are you a bard like those of Orlais?
Oh, heavens no. I'm a
Likes
minstrel
those.
first. My weapon is a cutting tongue, not blades. I hope my skills will help in some small way, if only I can give your deeds their due.
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
A simple thing that you know well. The power of a muse to rally hearts and minds. Inquisitor, I want to spread the word of what you've done. A small but vital role. Perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Carry on then.
Oh,
I usually
will
have
do my best, Inquisitor.
this conversation with her back at, Skyhold, but
There is an issue that you should address. I think it's worth your time, Inquisitor.
what's that? Oh, and now I have to go to the war table. Alright, so now we head back to Skyhold. Travel. Gosh, a whole nother episode with nothing to show for it. I keep thinking about how much I have to do, and it just makes me so tired because I haven't even touched on a lot of the areas yet. My mouse has been acting weird too. See how I'm only clicking once, but it's pulling two. It's like it's clicking twice. Very frustrating. Once again. But yeah, what I'm hoping is I'll be able to do some more recording and really start making some progress moving along here. I've actually been in more of a Dragon Age mood because I got an acquaintance of mine online into it, because there is nothing I love so much as being a bad influence. And really, it wouldn't be completely incorrect to say that I might have done it just so I could have somebody to talk about Dragon Age with, but I'd mentioned it here and there, and she sounded intrigued, and they were having some kind of really nice Game of the Year sale on the PS4 network, so she got into it, and it's really been cool. And much like me, she ended up romancing Dorian in the first playthrough, which she's still working on. But I was like, it's so hard not to, because he's just so gosh darn charming. He really, there's just so much to love about him. So I feel like a little bit recharged. I'm also already starting to see, more gossip about Dragon Age 4, even though there has not been a whisper. Mike Laidlaw has said nothing, and, I feel like if they are working on it, which I would assume they are, it's going to be in the very, very early developing stages. Like, they're figuring out who the main character is going to be. They're figuring out, hopefully it'll be set in Tevinter, because that seems to be the logical next step. We've been hearing about Tevinter since Origins, and still haven't actually seen the place. We had basically the conflict with the Canary coming to a head in Trespasser. So there's got to be. It just seems, of course, just because something seems logical doesn't mean that it's in any way likely to actually happen. But yeah, there's still a long way to go before they would even start making announcements, but I'm gonna try and keep track of it every step of the way. And of course, Morgan is now part of our consultation, or our counselors, whatever. Red Jenny and the Bad Goods. Let's
It was
see
interesting
what else
to see how much has changed in Halam Shiral. And so little. Madame Méprise is a fixture. The sun will grow cold before she retires.
So now I have another mission to do in the Emerald Graves. Let's see. Gosh, I have so much I could do. Let's see what's over on this side of the table. 2 points. That book is abysmal, and the entire code-breaking department wants to ritually set it on fire. The message is double encrypted. The message in the mistakes is an emergence guild cipher. We have not yet broken the guild's code. So we keep going on with that. Oh, shoot. I need to... Oh, God bless. I can't send Cullen on this. I'm... Oh, 100% sure.
Are
I'm
the
like
soldiers
99%
ready?
sure.
As ready as
But if
they
I
can
send
be.
Cullen on this one,
We're asking a lot of them.
I will lose my clan. So yeah, I'm gonna send Josephine. If Cullen goes in, the elves are just gonna die. So
Inquisitor.
16 and a half hours from now, I'll know if I was right or not. I should have had that ready, but I wasn't sure. Let's see. Okay, so I can't do that. Gather herbs. Expose the double agent. Yeah, I should do that.
Let's see what we have.
And, stop the rumors. Oh, that's Meriden thing. Cullen's response is the best. From far off Monsignor, a songstress comes, with lies and thoughtless gibes, insults our name. I hated her in school, she pulled my hair. We must not let her make these vulgar claims. Meriden. No, this is ridiculous. I sent him, I didn't mean to do that. God bless. Oh well. So now I cannot actually recall Blackwall just yet. Our next step would be Prided Rot, which is the Arbor Wilds, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I do like how you can tell that the symbols show where you've been, what you've unlocked. The major story arcs are the big swords. There's okay. I can do this. Let's see. I think I'm probably going to go with Josephine's option because I don't really like the others, and this way is a little bit diplomatic. Well, it is diplomatic because it's the negotiation. So now we can judge him. But there was another thing that you could do that I didn't go for because I usually just go with that, which I think would just end up abandoning Blackwall altogether, and I just don't want to do that. I like having him in the Inquisition. Boy, I may have to stop after this one. Oh, I got an amulet. I wonder which that one is. That is not for me. That is for Sarah. Oh, it's because it was a Sarah's March or something like that. Okay, so she is using Andraste's Sacrifice. Do that. Andraste's Sacrifice. Go back. Okay. And then there was a sigil that I also got, which I'm obviously not going to use because I don't like sigils. I don't care. So now we have to go do a couple judgments. So we're still not going to get out to the Exalted Plains. The Exalted Plains are going to take quite a while. I'm going to sit on my invisible throne. Look at that. That's awesome. I wonder... do have a screen cap somewhere of him. Yeah. Look at that.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. What did you have to do to release me?
Josephine called in a few favors. There are enough people out there who owe the Inquisition.
And what happens to the reputation the Ambassador has so carefully cultivated? The world will learn how you've used your influence. They'll know the Inquisition is corrupt.
I wish there'd been another way, but my options were limited.
You could have left me there. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
So you can choose to send him off with the Wardens after everything ends. You can basically treat him as a slave, which is, the Assquisitor choice. Or what I usually go with is free him to make amends.
You have your freedom.
It cannot be as simple as that.
It isn't. You're free to atone as the man you are, not the traitor you thought you were, or the warden you pretended to be.
The man I am. I barely know him. But I have a lot to make up for. If my future is mine, then I pledge it to the Inquisition. My sword is yours. If I'd said anything less, would an arrow from the rookery have snuffed me like a candle?
Take your post, Tom Rainier.
This is also a very interesting scene if you have romanced Blackwall, because yeah, you have to judge the guy you've fallen in love with, and so that can get a little weird too. Okay, we're going to do one more judgment before the end of the episode, even though it's going to go a little bit long, because we have Florian to deal with still.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture.
She's still in the same dress.
You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Out of your element, Floriane. Welcome to the Inquisition. My party.
Despite her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realize he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
The Jester's outfit is kind of funny. I think I'm gonna go for the common work.
Like most nobility, she's never walked in the shoes of those she endangered. Lady Floriane, I give you a chance. Common work, farm work. Do some good.
Sentenced to walk with animals? How droll.
Hey, lady, at least you're still alive. Alright, so that's where we're going to leave this episode. I think that's all the judgments I have for right now. Yeah, we're good. So, just like last time, I'm going to leave it on this shot, which I still like. Anyway, so next episode we'll get out to the Exalted Plains and get started. I actually haven't even done the operation to get into the area where you go to do the thing for Vivienne, so I still have to do a lot there. So we'll see next time. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next time.